welcome again to our program, Women to Women. I'm Carol Paz, your hostess. We have a very special lady who I'm just about ready to introduce to you. But I'd like to thank the sponsors for this show, the carsonnow.org, which is the #1 place to go on the internet for the latest breaking news here in Carson City. We'd also like to thank Apex Consulting Security Firm, who are educators and trainers in personal and corporate safety. And we'd also like to remind everyone that the Nevada Appeal and the Record Courier, who support Women to Women so specially, that is the place to go when you're looking for those special books of coupons that all of us can use. And remember, shop locally. They would really like to have us remember that. So let's turn to our guest, Katherine Lima. Welcome.
Thank you for
so
having
nice
me.
to have you.
Same here.
Okay.
I enjoy being here.
Thank you. Katherine, you're an elegant lady, first of all. I have to remind you of that, okay? And so I'm just guessing that I have no idea if you were born here in Nevada.
No.
Okay. Where do you hail from originally?
I'm from upstate New York, Rochester, New York.
Oh, welcome again. I'm a New Yorker as well. Okay. Great to have you. Up in the cold areas of New York.
Yes, but I don't remember the winters too much because I was very young when my parents decided to move to California. I was about 3 years old.
What a change.
Yeah. My dad worked for a bakery for many years, and he had to battle the cold winters, so he got tired of it. So he basically wanted to get out of that and come to California, and he did get a job here in California. And
do you have other brothers and sisters?
Yes. I have an older sister, and I have a younger brother, so I'm the middle kid.
I'm the middle kid. Okay, that's kind of an interesting position.
Yes.
In the pecking order with children.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm a middle child as well. What did you learn as a middle child? What did you find out?
Well, I looked up, my sister was just me and my sister for quite a long time.
Okay.
And I always looked up to my sister for about everything. And but I always kind of wished I had a brother or another sister. But it was just me and her for a long time. And my mother wasn't thinking about having any more children.
Okay.
And it just happened that my brother came along, which I'm very thankful for today. But I don't know, I guess you're in the middle of, now it's just reverse roles a little bit.
How do you mean?
Know, I'm helping my sister because she has a lot of things. Right now she's going through a hard time with her health. And I just lost my brother-in-law almost 2 years ago. So I've been trying to help her out as much as I can and give her support.
And you had that close relationship for all of those years. So this is a natural thing to do.
In fact, when she got married, we both cried. I cried my eyes out like I'm never going to see my sister again. And
not in the same capacity.
Happen. But it just like I saw a lot more of her actually.
And your brother. What did you find yourself with a little brother as the middle child, helping out with her doing?
Yeah, I helped a lot with him. Pretty much, he's like my own son.
Okay, you became almost his second mother.
Yes, I was. My mom always, knew I was there and that I could be there to help out when I needed to, babysit, whatever.
So you must have a very close relationship with him as well.
Well, we're 11 years apart. My sister and I are 11 years apart.
Wow.
And my brother is like 13 years apart between me and him. And 22 years apart between him and my sister.
Your mother went through several shocks.
Oh, yeah. She was my sister was long gone when he came along. But like I said, I'm very thankful to have him.
Yes, very special relationships. Now, when you came out to California, here in the West, what was it like growing up at that time in California for you? Where specifically?
Actually, we lived in the San Fernando Valley.
All right.
My mother still lives in the same. Actually, we rented an apartment, or they rented an apartment. And then my dad bought a home in Tarzana, and she's lived in that house ever since.
It's the family homestead.
Yes, it is. And it was a beautiful neighborhood. I remember it, a lot of ranches around, And then as time went on, things changed. Progress came in, and those ranches were gone, and apartments and businesses came in. But it was a great time because it was in the 50s and 60s.
Those were different days, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Very different.
And, I'd love to be able to go back to that. The children today They missed a lot of things, I think, that we grew up with.
Probably we grew up in some of the best of times.
Absolutely.
The best of times.
Absolutely. And we appreciated things so much.
Now, did your own family come along eventually? Did you find that right guy?
Well, yeah. I got married when I was 27.
Okay.
And my husband, he's actually 11 years older than myself, too. Never been married. Either one of us have never been married before.
That's neat.
Yeah. But, as time went on, I went to work. And then I met my husband at work. And we got married. And we've been married for 33 years.
Wonderful.
Almost 33 years, yeah, in June.
Looking back, what do you think it is? Because a lot of the women that are viewers of this program struggle in marriages, struggle with marriages, and struggle outside of marriages. And for a 33-year commitment to be shared today is a very special time.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't happen that often anymore. The divorce rate among Christians and non-Christians, it just seems to be, it's higher among Christians now than it is among non-Christians.
Well,
what keeps a marriage together, Katherine?
I think you got to get married for the right reasons. That's
and you
number
waited.
one. Yes.
You waited.
I waited for Mr. Right for quite a while. Everybody I knew got married before me.
I have to tell you, what was on your list of Mr. Right? I mean, what did he have to measure up to? Okay. And there are some women.
Well,
I was one of those who waited for a Mr. Right, too.
Well, he needed to respect me.
Yes.
I didn't date a lot, but the few gentlemen that I did date, that I didn't care for them because one thing was, they just, respect for me and my feelings was number one. And, of course, my husband did do that, and have a good job that was able to,
Okay, responsibility.
Take on responsibility,
Right.
which he did. He did have a very good job. He was on his own for quite a long time, so, and I wanted to make sure that it was the right thing for him as well as me.
Okay, you're indicating to us that you are patient.
Yes.
That you are a person who is willing to wait, and you like quality.
I knew him for 3 years before we got married.
Okay, so he was a friend before he was ever your marriage partner.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what did you do with your interests? What are your specific interests, Katherine?
Music. I love music.
Do you play instruments?
Yes, I do.
Okay, share
when
that
I
with
was
us.
8 years old, I took up guitar. And I kept that up. I still have my guitar. I don't play like I used to, but and then I loved piano. And my dad bought me a piano when I was 16. I used to go to school an hour early because I was in a music major. In those days, you had majors in high school.
Yes, you did.
I wanted to be a music teacher. And so I had a lot of music classes, and I took the piano up, but I had nothing to practice on.
Are you equipped with a beautiful voice as well?
I used to sing, and I have to say, I guess I lost my voice, my singing voice. I was first soprano in a choir, and I love singing.
Isn't it interesting that when you have a gift here and a gift there, there are several other gifts that you're equipped with to be able to use and share them all. It continually baffles me and astounds me. I had a neighbor back in New York. He was a friend of my son, great mathematician, great mental ability. He was Chinese. And I noticed that when he came to our home, he had this gift of music. And he said they just go together. Math and music just go together. It's the notes, it's the symbols. He said there's nothing to it. Do you also like math?
Well, math, I kind of struggled a little bit with it.
Okay.
Figures always made me nervous. But, I did for 15 years. I was a tutor in the school system in California. I helped children that were below grade level. And I just had basic math in school. When we went to high school, unless you were, certain majors required you to have physics or geometry, you just had. And here I was faced now with,
Tutoring.
Tutoring. And so I learned, I was, taking the same things that the other kids were. I was teaching.
Yes.
I was getting taught too.
Yes.
And I was learning so much. It was
Isn't
so
that a
much
great
fun.
feeling?
It was.
Yes,
It was like, oh my gosh, you know,
I can do this.
I can do this. So
Yes.
no, it worked out great.
Back in New York again, this same family, he needed to be tutored in Latin. And I had Latin in high school,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
hadn't used my Latin for a long time. And boy, I went back to my boxes of school books, brought out that Latin book and said, I can do this, I think. And we did it. We did it. He passed his boards.
It's a challenge.
Yes, very much so.
And I was, you know, I was thrilled to do it.
Okay, now you are also indicating an interest in people.
Yes, I do. I have a big interest in people
Why is that?
and helping people.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just, you know, I just feel things happen for a reason in our lives. And I just feel that we've always have angels around us. Everybody has a guardian angel.
That's scriptural.
And if I can help somebody or a child, to me, helping children is so important.
Why children? Why not senior citizens?
Well,
or why not?
we help seniors too, but to me, the children are our future.
Yes, yes.
And education is so important. And, you know, if I can help some child have hope and self-confidence in themselves that they can do anything they can do, want to do.
Yes. Now, Katherine, you are a volunteer in a very special
Yes.
program called what?
The Crystal Angels.
The Crystal Angels. What is Crystal Angels all about?
Crystal Angels, there's a group of ladies. It actually started in 1997.
Okay.
The founder, her name is Lori Hennessy. And she, one day, you know, her niece lived in Reno and she lived in Gardnerville, very close to her niece. She was like a daughter to her. And they hardly saw each other, so they decided once a month they were going to meet. So her mother, her niece, and then her mother-in-law, they just started having lunches once a month. And before you know it, other women wanted to, hey, can I come too? So then they
What attracted them, do you think?
Well, I guess because she is such a wonderful person, a giving person. And to be around them is just, it's fun.
It's fun. Okay.
And other ladies heard about it, says, you know, we'd like to come too. And then they all decided one day, we need to have a purpose, a good purpose. Let's do something that's going to help other people. So they decided to get in touch with Project Santa Claus. And there's a lot of children that wouldn't have Christmas unless something was donated to them. So they took on one family. And they made this meeting every third Thursday, every month, the third Thursday of every month they would meet. And then they would have like a little raffle amongst themselves. And that money helped pay for this family to buy them whatever they needed. Well, now, all these years later, there's 90 women who, from 6 women, or 90 women now. And we don't all get together every month. There's about maybe 45 to 50 of us, because some people work, some people have businesses. I'm retired. I can go all the time, and I can do a lot more other things. But when they can come, they come. And we raise, through our raffles that we have at our luncheons, every year we raise enough money, and at the end of the year we have a huge gala. And we do Christmas trees. And what I mean, not real living Christmas trees.
Okay.
We get artificial trees.
All right.
They're donated to us, or we go out and get them, and we decorate them, and then we raffle them off, and we collect a certain amount of money, and that's added to what we made for the year. And then we go out and buy Christmas gifts, and we've given 60 children for the last 3 years Christmas. And now we're helping the elderly as well.
I want to come back to that. Usually when there is a real space in our heart for others, it's because we've either witnessed or gone through ourselves moments when we have been gifted by someone else, or we see the need and something knocks on the door of that heart to become a part of that story, to become a part of that environment. And I want to ask you about that when we come back. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Katherine Lima.
Apex SEF provides cutting-edge, hands-on training that effectively addresses today's threats of violence.
The Apex Stay Alive course teaches proven methods for personal protection and attack countermeasures that can be applied in any environment. In your home, at the workplace, or on campus, Apex will teach you the necessary skills to stay alive, including how to recognize and react to an active shooter scenario.
If you knew you had to fight for your life tomorrow, would you train today? Contact us now to sign up for a class in your region.
Are you looking for a healthier lifestyle? A more nutritious diet? Do you care about quality? If your answer is yes, or if you are just curious, come into Villa Basque Deli and Cafe right here in Carson City, Nevada. Discover fine Portuguese extra virgin olive oils, vintage balsamic vinegars, and a wide assortment of international health teas provided by distributor Carpa Nevada LLC. In addition to these terrific items, Villa Basque is also the home of Pete's famous Basque chorizo, handmade on the premises from Pete's secret family recipe. Satisfy your culinary curiosities. Don't delay.
Welcome back to the second portion of Women to Women. We're with Katherine Lima, and we're going to return to her in just a second, but I'd like to thank the sponsors of this program tonight, which are Villa Basque Deli and Cafe, makers of Pete's famous Basque chorizo, and also of Carpa Nevada LLC, importers of fine Portuguese olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and international teas. So let's return to Katherine. Katherine, this is a beautiful name, Crystal Angels. Where does it come from?
Okay, Lori Hennessy, who is our founder, she had purchased a beautiful crystal angel pin.
Okay.
And she had wore it to one of the luncheons with the ladies, and they all loved the pin, so they decided we need to call our organization a name. Let's give it a name. And one of the ladies said, well, what about Crystal Angels? Only because angels do good work. And they shine. And we do have a lot of bling in our group. We like bling. So,
okay.
And Lori is bling.
Is bling, all
yeah.
right. So maybe for some of our viewers who are not too familiar with that term, what do you mean by bling?
Bling, we love, like you see my pin here, this is my angel's wings.
Yes.
A lot of the glitz.
Okay.
She's always got glitz on, and I guess we all kind of do too, you know. We
That's
like
wonderful.
That kind of
That's
stuff.
wonderful. All right. So this is a volunteer organization.
Yes, it is. We are not a nonprofit organization.
All right. So lots of personal effort,
Yes.
personal energies, time,
Absolutely.
commitment is all there because you want to do this, and it's a nonprofit.
Yes.
So a lot of what you help with may come out of your own pockets.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes it does.
Feels good though, doesn't it?
It does, because you know you've helped somebody.
Yes.
And that's the best gift of all. At Christmas, when we do go out and buy all these gifts, we have a ball buying all the gifts.
I
and
bet
then we
so.
wrap them. And then we bring them to the fairgrounds, and that's where it gets the children or the parents
Yes.
or whoever comes to pick up the gifts, and then they find them on Christmas morning.
You know, these are anonymous families.
Yes, they are.
Okay, and that's for their privacy and their self-respect as well. I remember as a teacher in the elementary school that I was involved with, we all knew there were so many families, especially at Thanksgiving and Christmas time, and it was really a pleasure. We all got together in the cafeteria and we bought for special ages, did not know the names, but just had a ball, as you say, going out and picking and choosing because you want this child, this young boy or this young girl to really like what they're getting.
Well, they give us a Christmas list.
Oh, how neat.
They all get to make out a list, and we pretty much give them everything that's on that list.
Okay, I have to ask you, what's on the top of Christmas lists these days with
Actually, most of the children want clothes.
clothing?
Mostly clothing, yes. They ask for sweat outfits,
Yes.
shoes, shirts, blouses, skirts, dresses. I mean, jackets.
Yes.
Warm clothing.
Yes.
I did have one young man that wanted a snowboard.
Okay.
So I don't know much about these things, so I had a little help, but
Okay.
got him a great snowboard, the whole thing. So I know he must have been really thrilled.
And when they put clothing, items like that at the top of their list, it also makes an impact on the heart, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Because you know that they are probably coming from circumstances
Where they don't get a lot.
That's right.
They
and they wear a
don't.
lot of hand-me-downs. Nothing wrong in wearing hand-me-downs
Oh, no,
whatsoever.
I've done that.
Oh, me
no
too.
problem.
I was proud to wear my cousin's clothes when I was growing up as a kid because I loved her so much as my cousin. But as an adult, it really makes us stop and reflect, doesn't it?
Well, how lucky we are.
Yes. And that if we have the opportunity, it's a privilege to be able to help others along. Yes.
I can't tell you, all the women, and I have to say they're a wonderful group of ladies. A lot of them have businesses of their own, and they contribute and support us, and we, in return, support them. We go to local businesses to have our lunches. We try to give back to those who give to us always.
Yes. And I know that as a retired lady, you're involved in other things besides Crystal Angels. What else do you do?
Carson Valley Medical Center. The last few years, I have helped out with fundraising for the hospital there. We have a beautiful hospital, and we have a great staff there. And the foundation does a lot. And Marilyn Presti is the head of our foundation, and I'm on the advisory board.
Okay.
And right now, we're getting ready. In May, we have a big gala as well. And we raise a certain amount of money for certain departments that need it in the hospital.
Okay, I have a question right here, Katherine. Hospitals are so necessary and so important to the entire community. That's
Absolutely.
right. And they're struggling, just like families are struggling.
Big time.
What are some of the major needs that perhaps your advisory board has come in contact and you've had to discuss? Okay, where do we set our priorities here? What are the needs of hospitals?
They need, first of all, they have everything that a bigger hospital has. Our little hospital may look small, but we've got right now probably just as much technology and equipment that all these other bigger that we can offer to anybody that comes in.
Okay.
But the first year we needed a digital mammography machine.
A what?
Digital mammography.
What is that?
Okay, a mammogram.
Okay.
But being digital, from what I understand, you could, if for some reason they had found something, and you needed to go to another hospital or another place for treatment, they could just get that information to them immediately.
Okay.
How the technical part of it works, I'm not too sure, but I know that most hospitals now have them.
And the communication is almost instantaneous.
And the communication is very important. So that was one thing.
And any woman who's ever had mammograms or has cancer in the family.
It's helped quite a few people because that particular machine, I believe the way it takes images, they can pinpoint the smallest little thing starting that a regular, your old-fashioned, whatever you want to call it, kind of unit, sometimes could not see a lot of things. Where this one can pick it up.
Wonderful.
It's probably, I want to say like an MRI maybe, looking right down into the breast.
Yes.
And in the different areas of every little thing and pick up. I know it saved a lot of lives.
So in addition to this new type of mammogram that's now available, what else do hospitals really need?
Well,
your hospital, let's say.
Right now, from what I understand, we're going to be raising money for heart monitors, very special heart monitors.
Yes.
And the ER. Whatever equipment they need or they need to update that's where this money is going to go to. Last year, I believe it went to the surgical department. There's always a need in any department for newer things or more technology, education too. Okay.
Do you know, as a matter of fact, this is bringing up just recently in Carson City here, in the congregation that I attend, Mark Amade, our senator, his mother goes to our church, and she had heart failure.
Okay.
And the two doctors in our congregation rushed, and one gave her CPR. But we all recognized as family, as friends, we needed to know a whole lot more about helping
Right.
take care of an emergency of that nature.
I think it's very important.
And because of the fast actions of some knowledgeable people, but not all of us, her life was saved.
Saved.
Her life was saved.
Absolutely.
And her name is Joy
Oh.
Amadei. So we're in joy with that.
Happy.
So what you're doing, Katherine, is you're really bringing to the attention of the public here the opportunities to be volunteers in actions and activities
Absolutely.
that make a difference to all of us in the
Well, it
community.
helps all of us in our community.
Yes.
And, we want our hospitals to be top notch in case we ever, have to be a patient for whatever reason. We know we're going to get top care.
Yes, and the experience of the doctors, the depth of their experience is so important to each one of us as well, because we know that there are fine institutions throughout our country. We're very fortunate to have the kind of medical care that we do, but it's also very expensive.
Very expensive.
And anything that can be done to bring more cost saving,
To keep it running.
that's right,
That's
it's going to
the thing.
benefit us all.
And that's what that's why we're doing what we're doing to, help all the different departments and keep it going.
If I were to ask you, we're towards the end of our second half here, but has there ever been anything that you are directly involved in the volunteer activities, but has there been any kind of a personal situation where you were so challenged that and you had to make some decisions here about what to do or where to go or how to react on this, that it brought you closer to anybody else that perhaps in the future might need that same kind of...
My dad died of cancer.
Was he young?
Well, I want to say, I think 70 was pretty young.
It's pretty
He
young.
was 70
Yes.
years old. And he had many, through the years, a lot of medical problems. But when he got the cancer, it was, very serious. It wasn't anything they could do. And going through that time with him was very difficult because I felt helpless because
It was terminal.
Yes, it was terminal. But, I did as much as I could to support him and help him through it. And I guess that time of having to be there and going through all of that with him and my mom, my sister, my brother, gave me more even that I would like to help other people.
Yes, yes.
In that situation and in any situation, really. It doesn't matter how old you are.
No, and I think what you're also sharing with us, Katherine, is that whenever we're involved personally, there's
It
a
makes you
purpose
wake up.
behind that.
Yes.
It wakes us up, but it also makes us very aware that tough, hard, hurting heart experience is going to be used down the road with and for someone else. And it's good to have those kinds of family experiences, personal experiences, to prepare us, because there's something that's going to be happening where that's going to be called upon to
We
use.
don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know why. I mean, when I first came here 8 years ago, I knew nobody, just nobody. Me and my husband had nobody here. And it was a little depressing, and I was a little unhappy. But I said, there's a reason why I'm here.
That's right.
And my
That's
husband
right.
said, you got to get involved, so start seeing what you can get involved in. And when I heard about the Crystal Angels, I got involved. And then through the Crystal Angels, I met Marilyn Presti and got involved with the hospital. And I got to tell you, I've met so many wonderful people, and I go out and I ask for donations with the Angels or with the hospital, and I have met so many people that are in business or just individuals.
It opened up a whole
that-
new world on
Yeah.
you. Yes.
And it's very gratifying.
And you can call yourself Northern Nevadan now.
I guess so.
You've got roots.
Now
down
I
roots.
do. Now
Yes.
I do. Because now I'm, of course, I'm much happier, and I've met wonderful friends. And
Well, we certainly want to say thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you
Thank
for being
you
on our
for
program.
having me.
Okay, I look forward to seeing you again.
Oh yeah, certainly. I'd love to
Okay.
come back.
Take care. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening, Katherine.
You too.
All of you out there, have a good evening too. We'll see you next week with a brand new guest. Take care.